Tradespotting's deeply serious guide to the collapse of the global economy because of tariffs, and probably a bit of bad vibes too. Hello, I am Tradespotting, and this is Geonomics, the end of the world market special, or as we say in the financial industry, Friday. Now, imagine the global economy as a lovely big cake, possibly chocolate, definitely overpriced. Then imagine Donald Trump has walked into the bakery, slapped a tariff sticker on it, and started demanding that everyone pays triple for a slice, or he'll throw the whole thing at China. That's essentially what's happened, except instead of cake, it's all of civilization's money. Let's dive in headfirst, like a bad investment, in a crypto shitcoin. Act 1. Apocalypse Dow. I say that, but we're looking at Spy in the background. Let's change that to Dow. Dong. There it is. What an entrance. On Wednesday, Presidente Donald Trump, a man shaped like a thumbs up and the concept of shouting, decided that 2025 was the perfect time to reinvent global trade by implementing the highest US tariffs in 100 years. That's right, the last time trade was this restricted, people were still using telegrams, and the most popular app was a horse. He announced this on Air Force One in the bathroom, which is like Ryanair for presidents, and said it was going very well. Naturally, markets interpreted this statement the way a cat interprets the Hoover. Panic, flee, knock everything over and get the hell out of there. By Thursday, $2.5 trillion, that's a number with 12 zeros, vanished from the stock market. Not misplaced, not hidden, not left on the bus or the back of a taxi. Vanished. Poof, gone. Like logic in any of Trump's speeches. Okay, so Act 2. The Chinese are striking back in the tariff wars. China, understandably a little bit miffed at the US, have decided they're going to tax every export like it was a bottle of Iron Brew at an English petrol station. So it'll be like $25, please. Fired back with 34% tariffs on all American goods. All of them. Socks, smartphones, sandwiches, subways, possibly even Trump steaks. They also imposed bans on rare earth elements like gadolinium, which sounds made up, but apparently it's a real thing. Crucial for making MRI scanners. I tell you what, a wee shot on one of them's not cheap. Lasers, probably lightsabers, that sort of vroom vroom sort of thing. All sort of noises, vroom vroom. That's probably made by this galodium stuff. That's the US now facing awkward choices. Trade fairer or live without magnets. And sci-fi. No more sci-fi either. Beijing added 27 US companies to its list of naughty boys, banning exports to defense tech. And they also filed their formal complaint with the World Trade Organization, which is a little bit like tattling, but for superpowers. Trump, in response, said that China panicked and then encouraged Americans to get rich, which is like saying to somebody stood in a burning building, yo, get warm. Okay, so next, the fall of the Magnificent Seven. Ooh, starting with Apple, bloody hell. Tech stocks, aka the Magnificent Seven, we called them that because big tech is just not dramatic enough of a name. So they were obliterated. Nvidia, Apple, as you can see there, Tesla, Meta, all tanked harder than a fish in a trebuchet. Apple lost $310 billion in value. It's roughly the GDP of a small country, or, the weekly budget of like a Marvel movie. Analysts say an iPhone could now cost $3,500, which is fantastic news for mortgage brokers. So if you're looking to get an iPhone, get in touch with my brother, John, at www.currency.co.uk, and he'll help you out on a mortgage. Tell you, 1980s style manufacturing is Trump's goal. It's a bit of a dodgy experiment. Fair enough, take that, I think. Most science experiments don't usually end with a global recession and president yelling about new tariffs on China from the Air Force One toilet. Meanwhile, NASDAQ, tech-heavy index, you saw it there on the last slide. Some people call it a graph. It's a chart. Talking about villains in Marvel movies, 6% there off of NASDAQ. That was pretty dodgy. Like I say, dodgy experiment. Crazy, this science, eh? Can we not just stay away from science? Plunging everything into bear market territory, if you want to define it. That's how you call it now. Bear, which means like it's hibernating, like a bear. It's hibernating. It's angry. It's probably going to eat all of your savings. And then you, which isn't fair. Isn't fair. Way fair. No fair. It's not fair, guys. Wall Street. Wall Street, to be fair, Wall Street is not known for its chill. They compiled a list of stocks, official list of stocks that Wall Street officially hates. And that includes Apple, obviously, as you just seen. And sort of less obviously, Wayfair. These guys, ironically, they're on their way to not fair anymore. Chinese tariffs, a little bit nasty there. Downgrading because the reliance on all of their China stuff. And the fact that people don't usually buy sofas when they're preparing for the world's economic collapse. You know, unless it's really, really comfy. Act 5 is, well, it's what does this mean for you? What does all of this mean for us, you? That's the person watching this right now. Economists, these are professional people. Sometimes they wear neck attire. They guess what the future is going to be while they dress up in nice suits. They warn that all this tariff nonsense can possibly lead to a global recession, which would be like, 2008 for the hard of hearing. But this time, there'll be more TikTok and less houses. US jobs report showed some growth. Way! So it's like saying, yay. This is, nice view. Titanic's thinking, nice view though. Band's playing great. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessett says it's not Trump's fault. Right, okay, no problem. He's blaming Chinese AI though, which I did find a little bit implausible. He says that Chinese AI started the whole mess, which is a bit of a wild quote, really. We used to blame immigrants, right? That'd be more normal here. Or like the bankers, okay? You've heard me do that myself. But now we're blaming the robots. What a time to be a live person, right? So this is live person. Come down, put in a lower low. You can see there, price action lower than the previous low. That's wonderful. You can also see here's the momentum indicator. This is the RSI we're using. Make it bigger. Make it white at the important places. Bing. And you can see this is at these previous lows here. Look, in and around where this thing typically would turn around. So this is close to lows. I think we can all agree on that. Whether or not those lows continue to be lower in price than we've already seen, well, that's a big question, isn't it? There's links below these videos, and I'll do TA on any stock at any time. I'm Tradespotting. This is Geonomics. Let's recap the top down, right? Stock market's collapsing. Apple is becoming a luxury item. China and the US are throwing taxes at each other like kids with monopoly money. Only winner appears to be something called gadolinium, which I am assured is a real thing. The world's spinning further into madness. You have to ask yourself, is this the end of capitalism as we know it, or is this just another Friday? Only tariffs will tell. Only time will tell. Probably another tariff by that stage. This has been Tradespotting and Geonomics, accidentally understanding global finance on your behalf. I shall sign off with one last thought, or two really. Hit the like button. Okay, and as you're doing that, ask yourself, if economics is the study of who gets what, when, and why, then right now the answer is everybody gets nothing immediately for no good reason. I've been Tradespotting. Hit that like button.